Welcome to Serene Sage Tarot. So let's get down to it. What is this manifestation thing everyone seems to be whispering about? You've probably seen it pop up on your social media feeds, maybe heard a friend talk about it, or stumbled across it in the wild, wild west of the internet. In the simplest, most no-nonsense terms, manifestation is the art of bringing something you truly want into your life. It's about focusing your thoughts, feelings, beliefs on a desired outcome so intensely that it actually starts to take shape in your reality. Think of yourself as a powerful magnet, and your thoughts are the force that pulls your desires right to you. It's not magic, not hocus pocus, but a powerful partnership between you and the universe. This isn't about just sitting on your couch and wishing for $1 million to fall out of the sky. It's about aligning your energy with the energy of what you want. The universe is like a giant cosmic restaurant, and you get to place your order. You have to speak up, be clear, and believe with unwavering faith that your order is on its way. Now, you could listen to a bunch of gurus in fancy suits. That's where the real magic of this conversation comes in. We are diving headfirst into the treasure trove of manifestation wisdom that is Reddit. This is the good stuff, the real deal stories from everyday people. These are your neighbors, your coworkers, the person you stand behind in the coffee line. They aren't selling anything, they're just sharing what genuinely worked for them. The beauty of Reddit is its raw, unfiltered honesty. These are wins. This actually worked moments. Examples: a specific amount of money to cover a surprise bill, finding a lost pet, landing a dream apartment. These Redditors left a roadmap. You don't need a special background, a ton of money, or a mystical certification to make this work. All you need is an open mind and willingness to try. Think of this as a friendly chat over tea. These are discoveries from a global community of manifestors. We'll break down their techniques into simple, actionable steps you can start today. Okay, let's jump right into our first hack, and it's a big one. This technique is all over Reddit, and for good reason. It's simple, powerful, and it works. It's called acting as if. You start living your life right now, as if you already have the thing you want to manifest. You don't wait for the new job to feel confident. You embody that feeling this very second. One heartwarming Reddit story. They were stuck in a cramped, noisy apartment. They started packing non-essential items into boxes. Person happily placing a few books into a cardboard box labeled Dream Home Stuff. They labeled boxes, kitchen, new apartment. They labeled boxes, living room, new apartment. They spent evenings browsing furniture for a place they didn't have yet. They drove through the neighborhood they wanted to live in, imagining themselves walking their dog on those streets. They weren't just wishing, they were living the experience. Their friends thought they were a little nuts, but packing and planning filled them with certainty and excitement, replacing their old feelings of despair. They were sending a clear, powerful signal to the universe. I am ready. I am moving. Within 3 weeks, a friend of a friend called about a last-minute opening in that exact neighborhood. It was bigger, it was quieter, it was in their price range. It felt less like a surprise and more like inevitability. Get ready for a technique that feels a bit like a cool science experiment for your soul. It's called the 2-cup method. 2 cups, some water, a couple of sticky notes. A Redditor was feeling completely trapped in a dead-end job. They took 1 cup and put a label on it that described their current reality. Unemployed, feeling hopeless. They filled that cup with water. Then, they took the second empty cup and put a label on it, describing their desired reality. Employed at my dream company. Financially secure. Then came the ritual. Standing in their kitchen, they took a moment to truly feel all the negative emotions associated with the first cup. Frustration, fear. Then they slowly and deliberately poured the water from the current reality cup into the desired reality cup. As the water transferred, they focused all their energy on imagining and feeling the emotions of having their dream job. Relief, excitement. After pouring all the water, they drank it, visualizing themselves absorbing this new, wonderful reality into every cell of their being. The user wrote that something inside them shifted that day. The heavy feeling of hopelessness lifted. It was replaced by a quiet confidence. The very next week, they got a call for an interview for a job they didn't even remember applying to. It was a perfect fit. By the end of the month, they had a job offer from what they described as their absolute dream company. If you're finding these techniques helpful, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a like to help others discover these powerful manifestation methods. The 2-cup method gave them a physical act to anchor their intention, making the leap from one reality to the next feel not just possible, but complete. If you love to write or even just journal, you are going to adore this next hack. It's called scripting, and honestly, it's one of the most popular and creatively fulfilling manifestation techniques out there. Scripting is essentially writing the story of your life as if your desires have already come true. You don't write about what you want to happen. You write about it in the past tense, as if it's a memory you are fondly recalling. It's like writing a diary entry from your future self. One Reddit user shared a truly amazing story about using scripting to manifest a better relationship with their finances. They were drowning in debt and living paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed about money. Every night before bed, they would take out a notebook and write a diary entry dated 1 year in the future. They wrote things like, "I am so incredibly grateful and relieved that all of my credit card debt is completely paid off. It feels so amazing to check my bank account and see a healthy savings balance. Today, I was able to treat my parents to a nice dinner without even thinking about the cost. I feel so free and abundant." They didn't just write the words, they poured emotion into them. They tried to feel the relief, the joy, freedom as they wrote. They described the feeling of shredding their credit card statements and the peace of mind that came with having a financial cushion. This nightly ritual began to rewire their brain. Instead of focusing on lack and debt, their mind became preoccupied with abundance and gratitude. This subtle shift in their mindset started to change their behavior. They found a new sense of motivation to look for side hustles and became more mindful of their spending, not out of fear, but out of respect for their future, abundant self. And here's where it gets really good. After a few months of this practice, an unexpected opportunity came up at their job for a project that came with a significant bonus, almost the exact amount they needed to clear a large chunk of their debt. They also successfully launched a small online store that started bringing in a steady stream of extra income. Within that 1-year time frame they had been writing about, their financial situation had completely transformed. They wrote that looking back at their scripting journal was surreal, because so many of the details they had written down had actually come to pass. Scripting gave them a blueprint, and the universe simply helped them build it. For all the folks who want a manifestation technique that literally works while you sleep, this one's for you. It's called the pillow method, and its beauty lies in its sheer simplicity. This technique is designed to impress your desires upon your subconscious mind during its most receptive state, right before sleep and during sleep. A really sweet story from Reddit came from a user who was trying to manifest a specific person. Not in a creepy, controlling way. They had a huge crush on a friend and hoped it could become something more. Every night, they would write down their desire on a small piece of paper. "I am in a happy, loving relationship with person's name. My relationship with person's name has blossomed into a beautiful romance." They would fold the paper, hold it in their hands, and meditate on the feeling of being with that person for a few minutes. After feeling the emotions of joy and love as if it were already real, they would place the piece of paper under their pillow and go to sleep. They did this every single night, without fail. The Redditor explained that this practice helped them feel less anxious about the situation. Instead of worrying about what to say or what to do, they felt a sense of peace, as if it was already being taken care of. About a month into this nightly ritual, the friend confessed that they had been developing feelings for them too. This next hack is perhaps the most profound and the easiest to start this very second. It's the practice of gratitude, but with a specific manifestation twist. Instead of only being grateful for what you already have, you start expressing gratitude for what you want to manifest as if you have already received it. Saying thank you for your desire before it arrives is one of the most powerful signals you can send to the universe. It demonstrates absolute faith. It's telling the cosmos, "I trust you. I know it's done. I know it's on its way," which eliminates doubt and raises your vibration sky high. One Reddit user shared a simple yet powerful story about using this technique to find a new job after being laid off. They were feeling scared and defeated, sending out dozens of applications with no response. They decided to shift their approach. Instead of focusing on the lack of a job, they started a thank you journal. Every morning, they would write down 5 to 10 things they were grateful for that hadn't happened yet. Their entries looked like this. Thank you so much for the perfect job offer that just came through. Thank you for the amazing salary that allows me to live comfortably. Thank you for my wonderful new boss and supportive colleagues. At first, they admitted it felt a little silly, like they were lying to themselves, but they stuck with it. Slowly, their emotional state began to change. The fear and desperation started to melt away, replaced by a sense of calm and expectancy. They stopped frantically checking their email every 5 minutes. They started to trust that the right opportunity was on its way. This emotional shift was the key. They were no longer operating from a place of lack. Just a few weeks into this practice, things started to move. An old colleague they hadn't spoken to in years reached out on LinkedIn with a lead for a position that wasn't even publicly listed yet. It was a perfect match for their skills. The interview process was smooth, and they felt an unusual sense of calm throughout. They ended up getting the job, and the offer was even better than what they had been writing in their journal. They were convinced that shifting from a mindset of "please, I need a job" to "thank you for my amazing new job" was the single most important factor that opened the door to that opportunity. Let's talk about a technique popularized by the 20th century mystic Neville Goddard, which has found a huge following on Reddit for its simplicity and joyful feel. It's called the "Isn't It Wonderful" method. This hack is all about capturing the feeling of your wish fulfilled in a short, simple, celebratory phrase. Instead of complex visualizations or lengthy scripting sessions, you simply go about your day, and whenever you think of your desire, you whisper to yourself, "Isn't it wonderful?" A fantastic example came from a Redditor who wanted to manifest healing from a chronic skin condition that had plagued them for years. They had tried countless treatments with little success and felt very self-conscious. They decided to try the "Isn't it wonderful" technique. Whenever they would wash their face or catch their reflection, instead of focusing on the blemishes, they would close their eyes for a second and think, "Isn't it wonderful that my skin is so clear and smooth?" They would try to evoke the feeling of relief and confidence that would come with having clear skin. They repeated this phrase dozens of times a day. While driving, while cooking, while waiting in line, anytime their mind was idle, they would bring up that feeling and that simple phrase. "Isn't it wonderful?" It became a mental habit. This practice served two purposes. First, it stopped them from spiraling into negative thoughts about their appearance. Second, it constantly bathed their subconscious mind in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. They were consistently choosing to feel good about the outcome now, rather than waiting for the physical evidence to appear first. Over the next couple of months, they started to notice real changes. Their skin began to clear up in a way it never had before. They hadn't changed their diet or routine drastically. The only major change was their mental diet. The constant repetition of "Isn't it wonderful?" shifted their internal state, which they believe allowed their body to heal. So there you have it, a handful of real powerful manifestation hacks, straight from the hearts and keyboards of everyday people on Reddit. The beauty of these stories is they show manifestation isn't just for a select few. It's your birthright. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do it 24/7. You just need to be willing to try. Consider this your official invitation, your invitation to believe in your own power. Thanks for watching Serene Sage Tarot. Subscribe for more manifestation wisdom.